An apology is often treated as a sentence. I'm sorry. Sometimes it is sincere. Sometimes it is repeated. And sometimes both people become frustrated because the words have been spoken, but the relationship doesn't feel repaired. A healthy apology is not simply a speech act, it is a process. Human beings evolved to depend upon cooperation, predictability, and social connection. Our nervous systems continuously evaluate whether another person is available, responsive, and safe enough to approach. When an important relationship is disrupted, the brain does not automatically return to calm simply because the correct words have been spoken. The person offering the apology may think, I admitted what I did. I said I was sorry. What else can I do? The other person may think, you said the words, but I don't yet know whether you understand what happened, whether anything will change, or whether I can safely depend upon you again. Both reactions make sense. A healthy apology begins by becoming aware of the context. What happened? What was the behavior attempting to accomplish, avoid, regulate, or solve? What effect did it have upon the other person? And what does this moment now require from both people? Understanding the function of a behavior doesn't excuse it. It helps us respond more intelligently than shame and blame allow. A healthy apology might begin, I want to understand what happened in me and between us. I can see that what I did disrupted something important. The next step is recognizing the impact without arguing about intention. We may not have intended to frighten, embarrass, exclude, dismiss, or betray another person, but the impact still matters. A healthy apology says, my intention was different, but I can see that this is how my behavior impacted you. This doesn't require agreeing with every interpretation. It requires taking the other person's experience seriously. Then comes responsibility. Responsibility is not self-condemnation. It is the ability to say, this was my behavior. I want to understand it. I want to respond differently. And I'm willing to contribute to repair. Shame says, I am a terrible person. Responsibility says, I acted in a way that doesn't represent the person I am trying to become. That difference matters. When people become overwhelmed by shame, they often withdraw, become defensive, demand immediate forgiveness, or repeat apologies to stop their own discomfort. But an apology is not primarily a request for relief. It is an offer of renewed participation in the relationship. The next step is curiosity. What would help you feel that I understand? What part of this has been most difficult? What are you now uncertain about? These questions are not techniques for making the other person calm down. They are ways of gathering information that can guide repair. The person who was hurt also has a task. Pain may initially be expressed through anger, accusation, withdrawal, repeated questioning, or demands for reassurance. These responses may communicate the seriousness of the disruption, but if they become the only available responses, they can eventually interfere with the connection both people say they want. Healthy repair does not require suppressing hurt. It asks, how can I communicate my hurt in a way that helps the other person understand what matters and what I want now? Both people are learning. One is learning how to become more trustworthy, responsive, and accountable. The other is learning how to remain honest about hurt without allowing the injury to define every future interaction. A healthy apology, therefore, includes action, not dramatic promises, not guarantees that no mistake will ever occur again, but observable changes. I will tell you when I am struggling rather than hiding. I will pause before responding defensively. I will be clearer about boundaries. I will follow through on what we agree to do. I will ask for help earlier. Trust is rarely restored by one powerful conversation. It is more often restored through repeated experiences of congruence. Words and actions begin to match. The nervous system gradually encounters evidence that the relationship is becoming more predictable again. Both people begin to experience we can face something difficult without destroying one another. The final step is shared direction. A healthy apology is not only about returning to the relationship as it was, it can become part of building the relationship both people now want. The question becomes, who do I want to be in this relationship? And then, who are we trying to become together? An apology can contribute to the self each person is developing and to the relationship they are collaboratively creating. It becomes more than, I'm sorry this happened. It becomes, I understand more clearly what happened. I recognize how it affected you. I accept responsibility for my contribution. I am willing to learn from it. I will participate in repair. And I want us to use this moment to build something more honest, responsive, and resilient. That is a healthy apology, not a static sentence, not a demand for immediate forgiveness, not a ritual that must be repeated until the discomfort disappears. It is an evolving pattern of awareness, responsibility, responsiveness, and action. It is one person saying to another, this relationship matters enough for me to keep learning how to participate in it well. And when repair is possible, the other person gradually responds, I can see your effort. I can tell you what I want or need, and we can begin finding our way forward together. When you think about the healthiest apology you've ever received, what made it different? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Thanks, and have a great day.